Course Introduction, Module 0, Session 2, Introduction to the Guide. If you signed up for this course, you likely don't need to be convinced that becoming digitally connected is critical if your community is going to fully take part in our 21st century society. This quote by Stephen Hawking is truer each day. The internet does interconnect us, much like the neurons in the human brain. And this means that connected communities, and only connected communities, will have access to the digital applications and technologies that we could only dream of using just a few decades ago. Yet, your community, and far too many others, lacks adequate, affordable access to the internet, and in some cases, the skills needed to use internet-based technologies as well. You've likely found it frustrating to be unable to enjoy the benefits of being a member of a digitally connected community. And you wondered, if I wanted to help my community move forward to address the digital divide, where do I start? Who should I talk to? How can I make a difference? The guide will provide you with a strategy and with the tools necessary to answer those questions. In the summer of 2020, the University of Missouri hosted an online broadband workshop that included over 100 business, government, nonprofit, and academic leaders from all over the United States. The workshop focused on finding key elements of any community-based plan that was designed to expand access to high-speed internet infrastructure and to increase the use of cutting-edge digital internet-based applications. The guide seeks to implement the findings of that workshop. While a single individual can use the guide, it is designed for use by a group of interested citizens, drawn from local business, civic, and religious groups, as well as local government officials and community nonprofit organizations. Throughout the remainder of this course, we'll refer to these folks as the community's stakeholder team. The individuals included in a community stakeholder team likely will have various concerns and goals, but they all should share one overarching goal of making the community digitally connected, fully able to use the new internet-based applications to improve the health, education, economic, and social well-being of all. A community can be as large as a county or even a multi-county region, or it could be as small as a single zip code, an urban neighborhood, or a country road with a dozen farms and homes. However, it is critical that the community share a common purpose, a desire to stop complaining about the lack of digital connectivity and to move forward to do something about it. There are no shortcuts here. Creating communities that are truly digitally connected will take time and effort, and likely at least some local, public, and external funding as well. The guide will help with each step in the process, but the goal can be achieved only if members of the community stakeholder team are committed to do the homework necessary to pass this course and finish this guide. The guide is divided into several modules. These modules have specific action steps that aid the community stakeholder team in their effort. The guide recognizes that not every community is the same, so this course is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Each community will have different needs and resources. Some communities lack the high-speed internet infrastructure needed to become digitally connected. Other communities have high-speed internet infrastructure available, but it is not affordable or reliable for many businesses and residents. Finally, in some, perhaps most communities, not enough effort and attention has been paid to explaining how internet-based digital application can supply greater opportunities for education, healthcare, and economic and social well-being. This guide is written to address each of these needs. Following this introduction, Module 0, the guide starts in Module 1 by helping your community stakeholder team refine its vision of what it means to be digitally connected and identifying critical community voices that need to be part of the process of transforming the community. These likely will include representatives from government, business, nonprofit, and civic groups, as well as interested citizens who are critical to finding and addressing the community's challenges. Module 2 of the guide contains some useful applications to help the team engage with community groups to make them more aware of new digital applications for business, education, and healthcare that need high-speed internet to work effectively. In this module, your team also will learn how to survey the community's need and demand for digital application and resources. The goal here is to make certain the community stakeholder team's objectives properly align with those identified by the community's residents and businesses. Using the information gained from the community input, in Module 3, your team will learn about the different types of technologies and equipment that can be used to deliver adequate internet service to homes and businesses in your community. To complete the action steps for Module 3, your team will use information gained from community surveys together with powerful mapping and database tools and match the appropriate internet infrastructure to locations in the community where they are most needed. As part of this module, your team will also identify potential internet service providers as well as critical infrastructure that is found in the community. These steps lead to Module 4. In Module 4, your community stakeholder team will learn how different types of public-private partnerships, or P3s as we'll call them, can help make your vision of a digitally connected community possible. You'll use course-based applications and tools to help understand some of the most critical business and legal issues that need to be considered when choosing an appropriate type of P3 for your community. You'll also use a sorting application to identify financial resources to help the community fund your plan. In Module 4, your team will prepare a written proposal that describes the work and your team's recommended plan for digital connectivity. This proposal should serve as an outline for the documentation community leaders and their advisors will use to implement the plan. Finally, the key to any successful endeavor is follow-through. In Module 5, you'll learn how to establish appropriate milestones and monitor progress, as well as how to help with the implementation of the plan. The guide has been structured as an online course, and your community stakeholder team theoretically could take the entire course, do all the action steps without any live help. However, that likely isn't the best approach. For that reason, your community stakeholder team may wish to enroll in the course through MU Extension and be assigned a facilitator, a member of the university faculty from one of our 4 campuses, MU, University of Missouri St. Louis, Missouri S&T, or the University of Missouri Kansas City. Your facilitator will not attempt to control your community stakeholder team, but they are available to answer questions, and they will review and comment on completed community action steps. When necessary, They also can direct the community stakeholder team to other resources and experts to help solve issues as they arise. Communities taking the guide course through MU Extension also will be able to contact their facilitators at any time by clicking on the Get Course Help located on the left side of the course home screen. Communication among members of your team will be critical in achieving success. That is why special communication tools will be integrated into a facilitated online course. These will be available to you to stay connected with each other and with your facilitator. Even though your team may not be physically working in the same place at the same time, teams taking a facilitated course can post comments and exchange ideas using the discussion board feature. The course is set up so you can use the discussion board to post completed work, initiate conversations, and quickly share information with other members of your team. A course guide accompanying the course contains a short instructional video that covers some of the basics on how to use the discussion board application, so you will be able to get comfortable with the process. Once your team has completed an action step, your facilitator will review, provide comments, and make suggestions for the team to consider before moving on. Remember, your facilitator's suggestions are just that, suggestions. Your team is ultimately responsible for the outcome and success of the plan you develop for your community. As you go through the course and listen and read the material presented, you'll note that each screen or page is indexed, so you can record your progress. Using this feature, you can stop at any time and pick up later. You can also use this index to navigate to and review parts of any of the material again. Ideally, your community stakeholder team can work and potentially could complete the course in as little as 12 weeks, about 3 months. Exactly how long your group will need depends in part on the time commitment members can make to the effort, but timing also will vary depending on the team's ability to access input from others in the community. You'll learn that timing to complete the course will depend in part on others. For example, in Module 2, the team will need to involve the public in learning more about applications that can facilitate the community's digital transformation. This will be followed by community surveys to learn what internet-based applications are most needed and to assess the potential demand for these applications. Since these action steps will take others to complete, it is difficult to set or estimate the time it will take to complete them. However, to keep your team on track, a completion date has been suggested for each action step. Finally, for each facilitated course, a course calendar with due dates to complete the various modules and course action steps has been included. These dates can be changed as necessary by your facilitator as circumstances dictate. Each module will have an estimated completion time, the time it takes to read or listen to the course material, and expected time to complete the assignment. If you find that these estimates are off, be sure to let your facilitator know so that adjustments can be made. If you're ready to begin, let's get started. Let's move on to Module 1.